All right, so today we're going to talk about, I'm just going to do a general overview of all the benefits Social Security offers. So make sure you subscribe. What's going to happen is I've done this for a few decades. Once Social Security, anybody starts notifying people of, wait a second, I didn't know Social Security offered that benefit. If you're the person that introduces this benefit to one of your relatives or friends or at your place of worship or job or something like that, I guarantee you someone's going to say, "Hey Bob, I didn't know that Social Security provided that type of benefit, and now I'm able to get it," or I told my cousin or my sister and now she was able to get it. I really do appreciate it. So make sure you subscribe, and that way if they have any more questions about all of that. So we're going to talk about just a general overview of all of the benefits Social Security provides. And how do I know that? Because I ran the third busiest office in the country for quite a while, and so I've got experience doing this several 100,000 times. And so this should take about maybe 10, 15 minutes. So we'll talk about all the benefits, just a general overview of all the benefits, some of the qualifications to get those benefits. And then, as usual at this time, after we talk about that, then I will open it up to the floor in case you have any questions on all things Social Security, retirement, disability, Medicare, Medicaid, anything like that. So make sure you type your question in chat. And if you're just going to stick around here for an overview of Social Security programs, then once we're done, then we'll see you. But make sure you subscribe, because when you do have your question, it's hard. There's so much YouTube stuff out there. It's hard to find, channels again that you're interested in. So make sure you do that. Okay. All right. Let me pull this up here. And obviously, first, we're going to talk about the one that everybody knows about, is just straight old retirement benefits. So pretty much everybody knows that Social Security provides retirement benefits. Social Security number and then retirement benefits. So everybody pretty much knows that. When can you start your retirement benefits? 62 years old. That's the earliest you can start your retirement benefits. And then it's obviously reduced. If you start at 62, it's reduced about 30%. If you wait until your full retirement age, depending on the year you were born, but 66 and 8 months or 10 months going forward. If you were born after 1960, then your full retirement age is 67. And then if you wait till after your full retirement age to collect benefits, you get what's called delayed retirement credits, and that's 8% every year. So if your benefit amount is $1,000 when you hit your full retirement age, if you wait 3 years to collect to 70, then your benefit is now $1,240, 8% every year. All right, so that's just kind of a general overview of retirement benefits. And if you got any questions, there's usually a million questions about all of that. So make sure you stick around or watch some of my other videos. All right, so this is just a very, very quick and short overview of everything. And then you got spouse benefits. So spouse benefits are also retirement type of benefits. So the spouse benefits start at 62 years old as well. Up until 2015, they changed the law in 2015, but you could the higher wage earner could go ahead and file. The spouse files, and then the higher wage earner suspends their benefits. And people played around with the numbers a little bit to get a little bit extra benefits. More power to you, but Congress decided, yeah, you can't do that anymore. So they stopped that. So you can no longer do this file and suspend method. Now, for a spouse to get benefits, that spouse has to file for benefits on their own record. If they're not insured of their own record, then that's fine. But they have to file for benefits on their own record, and then they file for benefits on the spouse's record. And if you're currently married, then that spouse has to also be receiving benefits. All right, and that's reduced as well. Same type of thing. Almost any time you take money early from Social Security, the benefits are reduced. Most of the time, it's disability and stuff like that. There's different situations. As I always say in all my videos, with the Social Security Administration, there's exceptions, the exceptions to the exceptions. Social Security policy is over 20,000 pages long. So yeah, and I've read them all several times. And then you've got the survivor benefit. So You've got spouse benefits. Those are based on a living spouse. And then you have survivor benefits. And you can collect survivor benefits at 60 years old. Obviously, again, reduced. And that is based, the survivor benefit, the amount is based on the deceased spouse. So you had to be married to the person when they passed away, at least 9 months, or you were married to the person for 10 years or longer. So you can start those benefits at 60 years old. And a strategy that you can do, unlike the spouse where you have to file on your own, with survivor benefits, you can file for survivor benefits. Don't touch your own and let your own increase until you're full retirement age or 70 or whatever the case may be, and then collect survivor benefits up until then, and then jump over onto your own when it increases more than what you're receiving. Everybody, please press like so this goes out to more people. Speaking of survivor type benefits, survivor benefits also come with that embarrassingly low $255 lump sum death payment. So there's that as well. In terms of survivor benefits, if you're currently married and you're collecting spouse benefits from that person, and that person passes away, you don't have to do anything. Everything is automatic. It's called auto convert. It automatically pays out the lump sum death payment. It automatically increases your spouse benefits from living spouse benefits to survivor spouse benefits. So you don't have to do anything. But if you're not receiving benefits from that person's record, then you do have to file for survivor benefits. And I've got a couple of long videos on all the different ins and outs of survivor benefits. I've got a couple of 3 videos on all the ins and outs of spouse benefits. So make sure you check out. I've got 300 or so videos out there on all things Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and everything. All right. Here's something that, if you send this video out to other people, post it on Facebook, there's probably going to be somebody come back and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know I had this money available. It's called independently entitled divorce spouse. Yes, this is the government we're talking about, so it has to have a super long name. Basically, what it is, there's an incredibly number of people out there that are 62 years old, and they want to go ahead and file for benefits. Okay, and file for benefits on their own record. But here's what they say: I was married for 10 years or longer, but my ex-spouse hasn't filed for benefits yet. They're going to wait until they're 67 or 70 or something like that. So I really need that money, but they're not filed yet. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. This is where this comes in. Independently entitled divorce spouse. As long as your spouse, your ex-spouse, is at least 62 years old, it does not matter whether they have filed for benefits or not. You can file. Again, you have to file for benefits on your own record, and then you tell the Social Security person, I will also want to file for spouse benefits, independently entitled divorce spouse. And they'll say, how'd you learn that? Well, Dr. Ed. Yes. And I guarantee you, if you send it out, it's kind of that 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon type thing. You send it out to your Facebook friends, and they send it out to their friend, and their cousin, sister says, oh yeah, I got extra money because of you. So you can be a hero. Disability. Then obviously is their disability. Social Security also administers the disability program. For disability, short and sweet, is you have to be disabled for 12 months or longer. Your disability has to last for 12 months or longer or end in death. And you have to be insured. You have to actually have paid into Social Security. And it has to, your disability has to keep you from working, because Social Security defines disability as the inability to work. And here's again where a lot of people mess up and lose money, is they hear the 12-month thing and they say, yeah, I'm disabled, I'm not able to work, but I have to wait 12 months to file. No, 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 no. That's, your disability has to last 12 months or longer. It doesn't have to have already been taken, you don't have to have already been disabled for 12 months. So if you stop working yesterday and you stop working because of your disability or reduce your income substantially, you can file immediately. And please, 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 if that happens, file immediately, because Social Security is so backed up now, it takes forever to get your claim approved. All right. And let's go on to next. Oh, there's two different programs. There's SSI and SSDI. People get these acronyms mixed up. It's SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. So that's insurance part that you pay your FICA taxes. And then there's SSI. SSI is Supplemental Security Income, and that's kind of a welfare program that disability based. You can get if you're disabled or if you're aged. Social Security defines aged as 65 or older. So SSI is for people that don't have enough, they didn't pay enough into FICA, so their benefit is too low. So Social Security can also address the SSI. And because it's a welfare-based program, there's obviously limitations in terms of income and resources and all that. So there, and you can have both at the same time. Some people receive, $300 from SSDI based on their work, but only $300. So Social Security, okay, you don't have any more income or resources, so we'll give you another $634 from SSI because the max you can get is this year is $934. All right. All right, we're going through these pretty quickly. Again, this is just a super, 50,000, feet overview. All right, there's disabled widows benefits. So disabled widows benefit is basically based on another person's record, your deceased spouse, and disability. And you can get disabled widow benefits from age 50 to 60. As I said, survivor benefits is usually starts at 60, but if you're disabled, you can actually start at 50. So they said, okay, from 50 to 60, they have to determine, Social Security has to determine if you're disabled or not and when you become disabled, but you can collect benefits on a previous spouse, a deceased spouse. All right. And then there's disabled adult child, a DAC, as we used to call it in Social Security. A DAC is a child of a parent. Obviously, the parent is receiving retirement benefits or disability benefits, and the child is entitled because they became disabled before the age of 22. So if you're receiving, so this feeds into the next one, children benefits. So if a parent is receiving Social Security retirement or disabled disability benefits, then if they have a child under the age of 18, they can collect benefits. The children can collect benefits, either 50% or 75%, whether the person is alive or disabled, the parent that is. And so those benefits, those children benefits stop at 18 years old, or automatically stop at 18, but they can continue until the person graduates high school, not college anymore. They stopped that years ago. But if that child became disabled before the age of 22, they can continue to get benefits for the rest of their life, and that's the disabled adult child benefits. All right, so disabled adult child benefits, and there's also what's called auxiliary child in care. If let's say a person is receiving retirement benefits and there's a child, and that child is under 16 years old, the other spouse can get benefits based on that under 16-year-old child. But that spouse has to, the work requirements still apply. The spouse has to, basically what it is, it's that person has a child in care. If the child is 16 or under, or that child is a disabled adult child. So if one spouse essentially has to stay at home to take care of the child or the disabled adult child, Social Security gives them that benefit. It's called auxiliary child in care. And here's one that, I don't think I've ever seen in my couple of decades of working at Social Security, whether there's, nobody out there, but there's parents benefits. So if you have a parent of a worker or, someone that, is eligible for retirement or disability or something like that, and that person, that parents were dependent on that child's income, the parents can actually receive benefits. And that is a very, very unique case. I haven't seen, again, in my office, we were the third busiest in the country. We never had a parent benefits. Not sure because people just don't know about it or what the case. But anyway, all right. So that is a super, super, super overview of all the benefits out there from Social Security. And obviously, Social Security also administered Medicare. You sign up at Social Security for Medicare Part A and Part B. Medicaid is taken care of at the state, Department of Social Services and TANF and all that. Before I worked for Social Security, I worked for a Department of Social Services, so I can answer questions on all that as well. Okay, that is it. And again, if you're just sticking around for that, then we'll see you next time. But make sure you subscribe and please like and share this with all your friends, because I guarantee you will be a hero, because someone's going to say, "Oh, I didn't know that." Yeah, if I had $1 for every person that said, "I wish I would have known that last month or last year or 10 years ago before I filed," um, I might have a hairline. But anyway, there's that. All right. So, hello, Doc Jeffrey Joe. Hey, what's up? All right, Amy, please everybody type their questions in chat. And like I said, I've got about 50 minutes or so. I will answer as many as I possibly can. Question: how do I get SSD to cover my weight loss injections? I'm not diabetic. Yeah, they are. So you're talking about Medicare. Medicare is starting to cover one of those, but yeah, you have to get with your doctor. And whether you have Medicare, if you have Part D alone because you have a Medicare supplement, or you have a Medicare Advantage, yeah, they just changed. They weren't covered because it's a new medication, but they just changed that recently. So ask your doctor and have them submit it. Jeffrey, I've asked questions before, but I get no answers. Jeffrey, ask your question. Let's see. He is. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Just live in Q&A. Yep. Type it in. Hey, Doc. I'm divorced and reaching age 62 in July. Ex-spouse will be 62 in November. If I apply for 50% of his benefits, I will not be able to apply for my own 100% at my normal. Yeah, you have to file for benefits on your own. So you have to file for benefits on your own record first. So you can't, collect on him. Because yeah, he's going to be 62, so he's not deceased. So you have to file for benefits on your own record, and then in November, when he turns 62, whether he files or not, it doesn't matter. You can file for benefits on his record, and you can get up to 50%. But since you're filing early, you're going to be reduced. I just did a video a 3 days ago on calculations of how to calculate spouse benefits. Amy, I've been denied twice. Disability denial. Yeah, so let me know where that was a disability denial. Okay, Levito, applied for Social Security, being reviewed as of 4/15 to start 5/1. Still in review process on Medicare and pay premium quarterly. Current quarter is due. Pay now, or will it come out of Social Security check? Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you receiving? Is that a retirement or disability? But yeah, yeah. If it's disability, the review process. Yeah, but if it's retirement, yeah, you should be okay. They'll just, you might get you probably won't get anything. Yeah, if that's retirement, don't worry about it. It'll be taken out of your check, so don't worry about it. And they take it out of there, because if you pay it for yourself, you have to pay it every 3 months, where you can set up a system, but most time they just bill you every 3 months. But if you're receiving any type of benefits, they take it out of your benefits automatically. Let's see. I am retiring July 2025, the day after end of school year. How early do I need to apply for Social Security benefits at 62 single? All right. So yeah, yeah, it doesn't take that long. So you can go online, file for benefits, file for retirement online, or you can call, schedule an appointment. And even if your appointment, isn't until, a month or 2 months after you want your benefits to start, as soon as you call Social Security, you're protected for that month, so you can start your benefits. So yeah, a month or two before, you can all the way up to 3, but for a retirement benefits, it's pretty easy. I've done a few 100,000 of those, and those take 20 or 30 minutes to do. But the most important thing is to double check to make sure everything is correct. So go in there and set up a My Social Security account, and confirm your earnings are correct, because that's how they determine how much money you're going to get for the rest of your life, is based on your high 35 years of earnings. So go in there and see if usually it was like a zero, there's a missing year. Like in 1982, you worked but it says zero. So, okay, something's wrong there. Usually someone just typed in the Social Security number wrong. So those are easy to fix. Wild family question. I just found out from the railroad retirement that I qualify for early Medicare in December due to my disability. Are there any good Medicare Advantage plans for disabled? Um, yes, yeah. Give us, let's see here, give us a call. And I put together, because I was tired of people doing the wrong thing to, Medicare and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to go ahead and put a team together of Medicare people throughout the country that can help you out with that. As you can see from my videos, I always recommend the Medicare supplement plan first if you can fit it in your budget. That way you don't have pre-authorization and crazy networks and everything. But yeah, if you're on disability, you might not be able to get a Medicare supplement plan. But when you turn 65, then you will. It depends what state you live in. So give us a call. Leave a message. Just say your name, your phone number, your state, because they're all state specific, area specific, and tell us what you need, and I'll find someone that can take care of you. Or you can email me all that information as well. But yeah, it's with Medicare Advantage, you have to check those on a regular basis on it, because all those plans are only good for 1 year. So you pretty much have to check them every year to make sure you're in the best plan for you, because the insurance companies are insurance companies. They're in it for a profit. So you think you sign up for a plan and you don't change it. Well, that same company with the same doctors and everything like that might have upgraded that plan 2 or 3 times, but you're on the old plan. So they have, your plan is, 0001, and now they've got 0002 and 0003 because they're trying to entice new people to join. So they're giving them all kinds of extra savings and everything like that. And yeah, it's one of those things. People, you can read in the comments all the time. Well, when I signed up for this plan, they said there's, no cost for hospital, but I just went to the hospital. Now I'd pay, $200 a day. Yeah, it's because that plan that you had was, that's 2 years ago, and they've upgraded. Yeah, that company has a new plan that's zero, but your plan, they pay for the new plan with your money. So make sure you check out that on a regular basis. Oh, let's see here, Vince. I'm going with my 19-year-old son to get a copy of his Social Security card. What do I need besides an ID? Yep, an ID. A valid state ID, passport, driver's license. Yeah, he has to do it himself since he is an adult now. So like a school ID or something like that doesn't work. So he probably already has a Social Security number. He just needs a new card, I assume, because did his taxes, I'm sure, for 19 years, and you needed his Social Security number. So you're just looking for a replacement. So actually, if he has a valid state ID, like a driver's license or an ID, if he doesn't drive, just a state ID, going to SSA.gov, a lot of states have, you can do it online now. You can just get the replacement card and go online and request it. And what they do is the Social Security Administration finally, it took them forever to do this, but the Social Security Administration system talks to the DMVs throughout the country and checks the ID. So if you put in your driver's license number, the computer system talks to your local DMV, and your local DMV says, yep, that's the person. And they send you out your card, and you saved a trip down there. So let's see here. Kristen, we're both 62 and filed. Spouse waiting for SSDI hearing. Would the amount of spousal benefits increase if he is approved for higher benefits on SSDI? No, because the spouse benefits are based on his full retirement age anyway. It's basically called the PIA, primary insurance amount. So spouse benefits are based on what he would have gotten at full retirement age. And SSDI is basically what he would have got at his full retirement age. So, yes, so there's that. All right, make sure I read the question correctly. All right, Jeffrey, here's the question. My cousin is being stymied by a demand she come up with ex-spouse's SSN, both the marriage and divorce certificates. I thought you said you can SSA get the SSN easily. Yeah, yeah, I've done it a, a few 100,000 times. So yeah, you go into the Social Security and you tell them that person's name and the date of birth within a, as close as you can get it, the city and state they were born. If it's a common name, like John Smith or something like that, that's when the Social Security employee puts that into the system. It's going to come back with a whole bunch of names. So if that's the case, then to know the parents, the name of the parents, maiden name of the mother, and stuff like that, then that'll be able to narrow it down. So, yeah, unless they're not coming back with a Social Security number, because yeah, I've in my office we've done that hundreds of thousands of times, and we've never not been able to find a Social Security number. And in terms of marriage and divorce, yeah, sometimes you don't, but if the previous person had gone in there and already filed and attested that they were married to this person, divorced, they might be able to use that as proof. But it sounds like maybe they are not able to use that. So then you will definitely need a marriage certificate and divorce decree to prove the 10 years. And I get comments all the time, people asking, well, I was married for 9 years and 11 months and what, 12 days or whatever. No, it has to be 10 years. Doesn't have to be consecutive. A lot of YouTube and Google people out there said it has to be consecutive. No, you can be married to the person for 5 years, divorce, and then get remarried to the same person the next year, the next calendar year, and then be married for another 5 years. And Social Security can add those 2 5 years together to get 10 years. So that's one that I'm sure there's lots of people out there that are in that situation. I think I saw a stat that said what 5 or 6% of people get remarried to the same person. So there's a Janis Joplin song in there or anything. But anyway, I have learned so much from you, like many others too. I wish I had known more sooner. Thank you for all you do for us, sir. Ah, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's you read the comments, and I wish Social Security would make everything just so much easier so I could go back into retirement. I'll never retire. But anyway, yeah, I mean, after taking hundreds of thousands of retirement applications, you have to stay busy. Because I've taken retirement applications and I said, okay, now that you're retired, what you going to do? I'm not going to do anything. I worked for 40 years. I'm going to sit around and do nothing. Within a year or two, the surviving spouse comes back in there and files surviving spouse claim. Because, yeah, you got to stay busy, volunteer, anything, travel, spoil the grandkids. Everybody, please press like so this goes out to more people, and share and subscribe and all that kind of YouTube, TikTok junk. My full retirement age is 67. I'm considering taking Social Security when I turn 64. I'm also a disabled vet and currently collecting disability from the VA. What do you see as the pros and cons? Okay, yeah, I think I think you asked this in the comment section. I told you to show up here, and looks like you did. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so yeah, a lot of pros and cons. If you are not working because of your disability, veterans disability is completely different than Social Security disability. But if you're not working because of a disability, number one, I would say, hey, try to file for Social Security disability. Again, they define disability as inability to work. And VA disability doesn't automatically approve you for Social Security disability. I'm an old Marine Corps sergeant. I had a lot of vets in my office that, were receiving disability and they were working. So for Social Security, they're not disabled in terms of Social Security. So yeah, if you file early at 64, then your benefit amount is going to be reduced, obviously. So there's that. When you turn 65, then you'll get Medicare. And depending on your particular situation, if you have TRICARE or if you have just regular VA or something like that, if you have TRICARE, then you have to sign up for Medicare. If you have VA, there's all kinds of different variables. I did a video on that. It's called Medicare for Marines, even though it's for all branches. It just sounded like a good title, Medicare for Marines. So anyway, there's that. So Yeah, a lot of pros and cons. Again, your early retirement, so you have to limit your work. This year, it's the $22,320, so you have to stay under that, or they hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. So yeah, lots of pros and cons in there. Titus Mom. Yep. Hey, what's up? Plan on filing for Social Security benefits for when I turn 62 next February. How early should I file if I want starting benefits in March 2025? Yeah, a couple, 3 months before. You can do it online or call and schedule an appointment, a phone appointment, or an office appointment, depending on your office. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Someone says apply now. No, but she's next year. Yeah. So 2025. Yeah, it's too early now. Um, all right, let's see here. How is disability benefit determined? My ex-husband became a quadriplegic. Wow, around 22 years old, very little work history. I'm collecting a widow benefits. Weird that I was able to collect a fair amount. Yeah, so disability benefits are based on what you actually paid into Social Security. Normally, like, if you know, worked and became disabled in the 50s and 60s, so they take that whole thing. But yeah, when you file early, 22 years old, not much work history. Again, that is why people receive SSI and SSDI. So your ex-husband, for instance, might not have much work history, just a few years, and so maybe on SSDI only got a couple $100. And because of that, and he didn't have any other income or resources or anything like that, then they also gave him SSI. So you can do SSDI and SSI, just like a lot of people don't know that you can get Medicare and Medicaid at the same time. And there's all kinds of different possibilities with that. But yeah, so it's based on the work history, and probably I would say he's probably receiving SSI two, possibly. And you're collecting a widow's benefit from him. Yeah, that would be based on his work history as well. So, no more tears. What's up? This is also a child benefits under 18 when a parent dies. My son died, and his two children by different moms are collecting benefits. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I get comments all the time. Just got one yesterday. I had like 456 comments in my YouTube channel this week, and I was able to answer all of them. I finally finished all of them yesterday, so answered them all. Um, so there's that. Yeah. Somebody asked yesterday, says, yeah, my mother and father passed away early, and they were never able to collect their retirement benefits. What happened to that money? It's like, well, there it is right there. That's it. That's the social part of Social Security. Again, Social Security is not just a retirement. It is, if your parents had younger children, those benefits, be able to get it for the rest of their life. If something happened and that parent or that person became disabled, those benefits are very available there. And so yeah, so it's not just retirement. It's not an IRA, individual retirement account. Overjoyed. Hey, what's up? If you get married and divorced after 60, you can continue to collect spousal benefits if the marriage is divorced after 1 year. Yeah, if you're no longer married, if you get married after 60, you can collect survivor benefits. If it's a spouse type thing, once you get divorced, watch my video on the 5 myths on spousal benefits. There are so many exceptions, and so I put all the policy in there, and it really gets into the nitty gritty. So I don't want to give you a answer, because it depends on what type of benefits and whether you were married for 10 years to that person. So yeah, that's the policy, that one of the many policies that are just crazy detailed. So watch my video on that one, and then watch the section that applies to you. Again, there's 5 myths that I put up there. So watch the section that applies to you, and then kind of go through a checklist. Okay, okay, it looks like I qualify. So if you think you qualify, then, as I always say, call Social Security and tell them. In that particular case, whoever you talk to on the phone is not going to know that situation. So that's why you give them the reference number that I included in the video and said, okay, I want to file for this. I think I'm entitled. And they'll say, no, you're not entitled. I say, no, 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 no. Look at this policy. And then you'll hear a deafening silence for a few minutes. And then they'll come back on the phone and they say, oh, okay. So there's that. It's just, yeah, nobody can know it all. Again, 20,000 pages. Misdemeanor, if a person gets Social Security disability, do they automatically get Medicaid? No, no. If they get SSI, they are what's called categorically eligible. Again, I worked for social services and I did Medicaid before I worked for Social Security. If you get SSI, the supplemental security income, the welfare-based program, then you're essentially categorically eligible for Medicaid. So you have to contact them and, remind them and get it started and everything. But if you're on just regular disability SSDI, then not necessarily so. It's not automatic. But Medicaid is low income and resources. So yes, apply, 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 apply. And all they can say is no, or go away or whatever. So it doesn't hurt to try. So I have a question. How do I collect Social Security and disability, Social Security disability? So yeah, retirement, you can't collect both at the same time. You can file for both at the same time, but you can't collect a retirement disability at the same time because they're essentially the same program for all intents and purposes. Once you're on disability, if they approve you for disability at 50 years old, once you hit your full retirement age, they automatically switch you to retirement benefits. So it's the benefit amount and everything is the same. So there's that. Generic, to qualify for disability, do you always have to appear before a judge? How is disability proved by the applicant? Yeah, watch my video. I did a 4-part series on disability, give you all my tips, tricks, and secrets on getting approved and all that. No, first stage, you file an initial claim, and I don't think you need a lawyer for the first 2 stages because they'll just do what you do. So you file for the initial claim. If you're denied, then you can file reconsideration. And if you're denied there, then you go to the administrative law judge. And at that level, I think you do need a lawyer. And I always recommend local lawyers that know the local judges. So yeah, you just provide the DDS, the Disability Determination Service. Those are the ones that make the medical determination. They get all your documents from your hospitals and your doctors and everything, and they make the medical determination based on that. Let's see here. How do I get a doctor to help me apply for Social Security disability? Yeah, I don't think any doctors out there. You have to file yourself. They can, write it up in the medical record that you're attempting it, or add a little bit extra in the medical record, appropriate to your disabling condition, and that way when you provide those documents, or again, watch my video and I explain the whole thing about providing medical records, whether you should do it yourself or let the Social Security get it directly from the doctor and all that. So watch my videos on that and it'll give you all of the answers. Surgeon did cervical spine fusion and will not support my claims, and my headaches and pain are a side effect of his surgery. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Where it came from, Social Security doesn't care. If those headaches and pain are keeping you from working, that's the only thing Social Security cares about. They don't care about where it came from. Question, I just found out from Railroad Retirement that I qualify for Medicare. Okay, that's a repeat. Cloud Guy, is it true that veterans get an additional amount added to their retirement benefits? Yeah, it depends on when you serve. When you filed for retirement benefits, they should have asked you, when you served, and thank you for your service. And usually it's late 60s, early 70s, they give you a little credit. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to double check to make sure it was added. Call the Social Security Administration, the 800 number, and after you're on hold for an hour or two, ask them, hey, did you include my military service in there? And they should be able to tell you really, really quickly. Ed, what would you say is the most important thing that someone who is retiring at FRA miss other than checking your work record? Yeah, making sure you're filing, yeah, work record, yeah, number one, yes, yes, absolutely. Making sure you're filing for the right benefits. Again, if you were married to someone and they passed away, or should have you filed for actually surviving spouse benefits versus full retirement age and all the rest of it. And if you're at your FRA, did you sign up for Medicare? Because if you didn't, then you're gonna, it's FRA, full retirement age, FRA, it's called full retirement age, is 66 and 8 months or 10 months or 67. So people think they don't have to sign up for Medicare until then, but no, they have to sign up for Medicare at 65 unless they have current work and that employer has 20 or more employees, or spouse's current work. So yeah, people not signing up for Medicare when they're supposed to, not signing up for Part D, the prescription drug plan. A lot of people get that mistake. And they say, well, I don't want to sign up for Part D because I don't take drugs. Well, that's fine. But eventually, when you do, and you do sign up for Part D, then you're going to be penalized for the rest of your life. So, yeah, those are so making sure you're applying for the correct program and all the rest of it. All right, let's see. I started my Social Security benefits at 62. I then worked as a low paid consultant job, which I worked for about 3 years. I paid into Social Security. Can I get a refund of that, what I paid in? No, sorry. Social Security, yeah, you're going to pay FICA for the rest of your life, unfortunately. Yeah, even after you work, or even after you start collecting Social Security benefits, even after you're 70, yeah, FICA, you'll pay that forever. And if that's one of your high years, which it sounds like it's not for you, but if it's one of your high years, even if you're 80 years old and you're collecting Social Security benefits for 20 years, um, if you work and that's one of your high 35 years, they kick out the low one, they add the high one in there, and they recalculate, and that's automatic. So if you worked more last year, than normal, you'll get two increases. The COLA, you know, increase, calculation increase. The COLA, you get that almost immediately January. The recalculation one, it takes a little while. Social Security, you have to notify the IRS of your taxes. The IRS notifies Social Security, and then they do the recalculation. But they take it back to January, so you won't lose any benefits. Please, everybody, press like and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. Let me get to some TikTok. I'm ignoring TikTok there. Yeah, I need 10,000 subscribers to treat you all right here. It's the early payment penalty is permanent. Yes, yes. Once you retire early, if you continue to receive your benefits, then yeah, that your number is locked in. Again, unless COLA or you work or anything like that. But you can suspend benefits. So I just did a video on increasing your benefits. There is an option that once you hit your full retirement age, you can suspend your benefits to get those delayed retirement credits. Or if you work and you work over, you don't get a check for that month, then Social Security automatically recalculates that into your benefits if it's an early retirement situation. All right. Looks like people are answering other people's questions on TikTok. It's all awesome. I just retired, not claiming Social Security yet. Can I apply now? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Where do I get how much? Where do I get to see how much I put into SSI? Yeah, nobody puts into SSI. That's the welfare-based program. You're probably talking about Social Security, SSA. Yeah, you just go on to ssa.gov and set up an account. And I always recommend people set up an account, because if you set up an account, you have to put your email in there and your phone number. And that way, next month or 6 months from now, if somebody from, wherever in the world that pretends to be you and sets up an account to cause you trouble, you will immediately be notified. If you don't have that account, then it's easier for them to pretend to be you and mess up stuff. So yeah, you go into there and you set up a My Social Security account. Number one, check your earnings. Always check your earnings, and then you can find out exactly how much your benefit amount will be, and 62 at full retirement age, and 70, and survivor benefits and disability benefits and all that. My son is on permanent disability and gets Medicare. What happens when he goes back to work? Yeah, if he goes back to work, because there's, with Social Security disability, there's, trial work periods and extended period of eligibility. So if he's going through all of that, his Medicare will essentially continue until he goes through all those stages. And that's, a year or two or so. Make sure when he goes back to work, if he's doing like a trial where he's just to see if he can work, then make sure watch my video on that. I'm going to do another one on CDRs and stuff here. But yeah, make sure he watches my 4 videos on disability and what happens when you get disability, and keep a journal to make sure, because Social Security almost always messes up people's disability when they go back to work, and they don't do it the correct way. They eventually get it right, but you have to go through a lot of nightmares. So it's better to kind of be a little bit preemptive. But his Medicare will continue during that entire multi-year stage. Why am I not able to get my late husband's Social Security just because I am retired CSRS government employee? Because that's a government pension offset. So you did not pay into Social Security when you worked under that program. So just like everybody else in the country, when I talked about, you file for spouse benefits, when everybody else that pays into Social Security, when they file for spouse benefits, it's reduced by how much they receive. So that's why you get an offset, is because, have to treat everybody fairly. Let's see here. Any other? My employer helps me pay for Medicare when I start Social Security. Can this continue? Um, Helps you pay for Medicare. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If your employer wants you to wants to continue helping you pay, obviously they can't be billed directly. You have to pay it, and if they reimburse you or whatever the case may be, or then hey, that's a beautiful thing. All right. Oh, I think I answered that one. Let's see, Kathy. What's up, Kathy? If I am collecting on my widow's benefit, will I be able to collect any of my Social Security when I'm 64, or was that given up when I started getting his benefit? Yes, you are doing the correct thing. I just did a video on this. So, okay, good deal. Okay, you did it right, sounds like. All right, so you file for widow's benefits and you didn't touch your own. So your own is going up. So when you hit 65, call up Social Security and say, how much? And then ask them, okay, if I wait another year until I'm 66, how much is it? If I wait another, and then play around with the numbers. Even if, so when you're, 62, 63, or 64 or whatever, and you're eligible to file for widow's benefits, and you're also eligible for retirement benefits, your own record, here's the strategy. You go ahead and take the widow's benefits, even if it's the same or a little bit lower. And you'll have to tell the Social Security employee, hey, yeah, I understand benefits on my own record is $50 more, $100 more, $200 more, but I want the lesser amount. I want the widow's benefits now, because those won't increase. Obviously, yes, COLA, but your benefits will increase. Every month you wait, it's going to increase. So you get your widow's benefits like you did, Kathy, and then call Social Security every now and then and say, okay, how much now? And then when it gets to the level that you like, and it's going to tap out at 70, don't wait till after 70. 70 is the max. From your full retirement age until 70, that's a 24% increase. So if you can wait that long, again, it depends on your health and your family history and how long they live, longevity, a bunch of other factors. But yeah, yeah, you did it well. Good job, good job. Yes, maximize those benefits. So yeah, and when you call Social Security this year, next year, and and you say, okay, let's go ahead and kick around the numbers, and they give you the numbers. They don't force you to file, to start your benefits. They say, okay, all right, thanks for the information. Talk to you next year. Mr. Meaner, thanks for your experience, knowledge, and time. Excellent information. Face red heart shape. Yeah, I think somebody put that on TikTok right now. Yeah. Anyway, people on TikTok are probably freaking out because I have a green screen behind me. Yeah, it's not on YouTube. But anyway, I'm getting new. Anyway, Chris signed up for Social Security in February, turning 65 in May, starting benefits in June. Got nothing for Medicare. Okay, yeah, I think I answered your question yesterday. Um, yeah, they don't even have a profile on me at all. Yeah, you need to contact Social Security office, and I don't know if you filed online, they lost it, whatever the case may be. Yeah, you need to track it down. Um, Jeffrey, all right, thanks. I will tell her to try. Awesome. All right, got your question answered. I like it. Kathy, oh, there's somebody responding to Kathy. I collected widow's benefits and transferred to my Social Security, no problem, as long as your amount is larger than your widow's benefit. Yep, there you go. All right, people out there maximizing their benefits. I love to hear it. All right, Jeffrey coughed up a buck. Thank you very much. I like it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Tiffany, I'm 60 on SSDI. My husband passed away last year. Oh, so sorry to hear that. With regard to survivor benefits, I was told by SSDI pay is higher than my husband's Social Security benefits, so I'm not qualified for survivor benefits. Is that right? I'm not technically, but yeah, that's right. You are qualified for benefits, but it's just less, and so that's kind of yeah. Um, so because those are survivor benefits, they obviously won't increase because they would increase based on his work history and so yeah, so that's not going to increase their cola obviously, but you're both going to get cola. So yeah, you are qualified because you are a survivor, but the benefits there's not more benefits there. So that sounds about right. And then remember, if you're on SSDI, you will get Medicare after being on Social Security disability insurance for 2 years. So after the 24 months on there, you'll get Medicare automatically. You don't have to wait till 65. A lot of people are surprised. So make sure Social Security has your correct address, and that way they can send your Medicare card to you. And then you have to figure out whether you want to do a supplement or Medicare Advantage, or whether you can do a supplement in your particular state. So give us a call or email me, and we can find someone to give you all your options. That's a free service. And full disclosure, if you do end up enrolling, whoever one of our partners enrolls you, then they support our channel. So it's a win-win-win-win situation. Do Social Security cards still say not for identification? Are the cards still made of paper? Um, do they say not of? I think I do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're still made of paper. Yeah, and don't laminate them and all that stuff. Yes, yes. Yeah, they've been talking about making them a little bit more robust, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, a Social Security card all by itself is not any valid of ID whatsoever. Yeah, pretty much. Da, da, da. Misdemeanor. How can someone get Medicare and Medicaid at the same time? You mentioned that, but didn't explain. Okay, yeah, basically, yeah. If you are receiving Medicare, whether you got 65 or you're on disability for 2 years, then and if you're low income, low resources, and because Medicare has the Part B has the premium $174 and change. Um, there is a thing called the Medicare Savings Program. And the Medicare Savings Program is a state federal program that you can go down to your local social services Medicaid office and say, I want to apply for Medicaid. I would like for y'all to pay for my Part B premium. And they will do their whole thing and make sure, that each state is a little bit different, and see whether your income and resources are allowable. And if so, then you will get Medicare and Medicaid. And if you get that, then you're also eligible for what's called dual eligible. Dual eligible. So because you have Medicare and Medicaid, you're eligible for a dual eligible Medicare Advantage plan. And yeah, those have uh, other benefits depending on where you're at, um, and some other cost savings, possibly depending on your particular state and area. But yeah, those are the ones. If you have Medicare and Medicaid, those are the ones I recommend, or Medicare Advantage dual eligible. I almost always recommend Medicare supplements if you can afford the monthly premium. But if you have Medicare and Medicaid, and there's several levels of Medicaid, there's a QMB and QI and SlimB and all these different acronyms. So if you have the higher levels, then you're eligible for a dual eligible plan. So again, give us a call, email me, and I can find someone to see if you're eligible for all that. Jose, I'm taking care of a 69-year-old man for 24/7 for 6 years. Wow. He pays me his whole check from his SSDI of 780. Also includes food. He has schizophrenia and dementia. I manage his medications. Wow. That's definitely a full-time job and then some. Overjoyed, are there any circumstances where a second marriage before 60 lasting less than 10 years couldn't disqualify you from collecting benefits from first marriage? Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, as long as, again, depending on the situation, if you're currently single, you can collect on first husband, second husband, third husband, as long as you were married to 10 years. And, again, done this a few 100,000 times. People come in the Social Security office and I file for retirement, and they say, well, the question is always the Social Security employees has to ask, have you ever been married for 10 years or longer? And then you say, yeah, I was married 3 years. And then Social Security employee, okay, all right, let's go through them one at a time. First husband, what was that? If you don't have a Social Security number, no problem. What was that person's name? And the Social Security employee will find it and then say, okay, first husband, no extra money there. Second husband, okay, let's go to second husband. Okay, here it is. No extra money there. Third, oh, here's some extra money. Let's go on third husband or second husband. So, yeah, you can do either one of that. Okay, here's the question Jose had about taking care of the person with schizophrenia. Will SSA pay me for care? No, no. But there's state, county agencies that just might do that. Savannah, I saw on the Medicare website that you can get Medigap policies with community pricing instead of age attained pricing. It said community prices don't go up. No, that's incorrect. They all go up, based on medical inflation. So there's age pricing and community pricing, and and they're a little bit different. If you can get issue pricing, it's pricing based on when you get it. So whether the community or whatever. But they all essentially go up medical inflation. So you get like a, kind of, I guess like a reverse COLA. But some of them go up less than others. And it's specific to particular areas and states. So if you want someone to go through, if you're looking for one and want to find out, again, my network of people throughout the country can give you a lowdown on each company and what they're looking at going forward. Bridget, if I receive a retirement check from my old job because I'm retired, does that count as income? Like if I had a regular job when I get ready to file for Social Security? No, if it's just a retirement check, a pension, or the sick leave that you sold back or something like that, then nope, doesn't count. It's essentially unearned income, and so yep, not an issue. TikTok is weird. It is also severely overrated. Yeah. Oh, good time. Donated $1.99. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wonderful thing you are doing. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Getting my coffee fixed to the day. Let's see here. If I am receiving Social Security pension at 64 and still working, receiving $50K a year, how will it stop working at 65? How much I received? Okay, so if you're still working and receiving $50,000 a year from work, then yeah, you're going to be overpaid all that money you've been receiving, because you can only earn $22,320. So every $2 over that, Social Security is going to hold back $1. But they don't know about that until you file taxes the next year. So you're basically, $25,000 over. So you're going to $12,500 ish, 13, 14, whatever. So nasty gram from Social Security says, hey, you collect early retirement and you worked way over the earnings limit, so you owe us all this money back. So there's that. All right. Let's see, get some TikTok. Where are your videos? All my videos are on YouTube. On Just to do type in my name, Ed Weir, and it should pop up, or my Gov Expert, and it shows up there as well. When do you get COLA? A COLA increase. We find out what the COLA increase is around the first week of October. There's a lot of TikTokers and YouTubers out there that, kind of get you to clickbait and say, "Hey, more money next month and COLA and this." And yeah, they it's just all a waste of time. I'm only 26, but how can I know what my monthly benefit may be when I retire? I like it. Oh, that's my new hero, Noah. Noah Blue 655 is my new hero this week. Preparing early. Yes, you go into SSA.gov, you set up a My Social Security account, you just did your taxes and everything. So make sure every year you do your taxes. Go into myssa.gov and make sure it made it to Social Security, because that's how they determine how much your benefit will be when you retire. So check those every year, take that extra step. But yeah, and in mysocialsecurity.gov, you can see how much your benefit would be in the future. It's obviously not going to be that much right now because you're young. But what they do, is Social Security does, is they also kind of project forward. So, if you worked, and let's say you're, just, 50 years old, and you go in there and it gives you an estimate for 62 and 67. What it does is says, okay, obviously between 50 and 65, we don't know, but it kind of, the Social Security system kind of gives an estimate, says, okay, basically, if you continue working like you've been doing recently, forward for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years, here's how much your benefit will be. So it's an estimate. So yes, keep planning on all that. Check your earnings. Make sure you're putting some money away for retirement, and a rainy day, and all that kind of good stuff. And help your parents and grandparents, and make sure they getting all the benefits they're entitled to. All right, I want to work till 62 and then retire. Should I, or should I wait? Yeah, it really depends on your particular situation, whether you love your job, or all that kind of good stuff. Again, you can still work and collect Social Security benefits, but you just have to stay under the yearly limit, which is the $22,320. Again, if you go over, then they just hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. And remember, when you retire at 62, then you're taking your full reduction. So there's that. And then once you're reduced, if you continue to receive benefits forever, then you're always going to be reduced. All right, Chris, how do I calculate how much I will lose if I retire at 64 and 67? Yeah, same thing. Go into myssa.gov. And then you can do kind of a really easy break even analysis where it says, okay, if I collect at 64 versus 67, my benefit amount will be X, but I'll also get, was that 3 years, 36 months of checks. So 36 months of checks times X is going to be, $25,000 in my pocket, where I can pay off, this and pay off that or whatever. But it's going to reduce my benefit by $100. So you just do, $35,000 divided $100, and it'll take you, 14 years. That's guerrilla math, but that's basically how you do it. Those numbers are not correct. I'm not a yeah. Do you have to do SSA? Do you have to do SSA if you turn 65? No, no, you don't have to collect at 65. You have to do Medicare if you don't have insurance from current work, your or your spouse's current work. Then yes. Oh, another buck 99. Thank you, fan character wearing heart shaped glasses. All right, thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, everybody. Yeah, it costs a lot to provide this free help, but you guys are awesome. Awesome. I'm going to keep doing this until I can no longer do it, until I lose all my hair. Oh, wait a second. Too late. Let's see here. What other kind of questions? What can I do? I was the rep payee for my son's SSI. Now they said overpayment of $20,000. Ouch. They just changed the policy within the last few weeks. They're making it easier to address overpayments. So number one is you want to make sure that's correct. So I'm not sure all the details, but you want to, if you think it's correct, then then that's a whole different thing. But if you disagree with the number or whether he was overpaid at all, then you file a reconsideration. That is an SSA 561, and you request a reconsideration for someone else in that office to look at it, and they will look at it, and someone else again will look at it and determine whether it's correct. And at the same time, you can also request a waiver of it. And that is an SSA 632. It's a crazy bureaucratic process, and hopefully they streamline that part, but they haven't yet. And then if they deny you, then you can actually eventually talk to a judge, and judges have a lot more freedom and latitude to be human beings. So yes, if you disagree with it, if you think that's not right, if it's against good equity and conscience, as what Social Security, the policy actually says that, um, you don't have, your son doesn't have the ability to repay it. If he won the $1 billion lottery, then yeah, they're not going to yeah, he's going to have to pay it, even if it wasn't his fault. So it wasn't his fault, but since then he's won $1 billion, so they're going to probably want it back. What about I'm 60 and can collect on my deceased spouse benefits, but what if I make too much? Yeah, when you're 60, you're still limited to the annual earnings limit. So you'll just have to wait until you essentially stop working or reduce your earnings. If your wife is older than you and you're still working, can your wife draw benefits on my income? No, because you have to file first. So your wife can go ahead and file for benefits on her own record. And then when you start your benefits, then she can file a spouse claim on your benefits. Hi, I've been on SSD for, will be turning 65 in June. Is there anything I need to do? No. Well, yes. If you've been, I assume Social Security Disability Insurance, not SSI. So that means you probably already have Medicare because you've been on it possibly for 2 years. So one thing is, if you've had Medicare and because you were disabled, depending on your state, the only thing you might have been able to get was a Medicare Advantage plan. So now that you're going to be turning 65, you can get a Medicare supplement plan, and they can't deny you, and they can't charge you a crazy amount like they can other places, again, depending on your state. So that might be an option. With a Medicare supplement, you don't have to get permission from an insurance company. If you and your doctors say you need X, Y, or Z and Medicare covers it, you don't need some insurance company to say, no, I'm going to deny that, or maybe try this other thing or delay it. So if what you and your doctor decide, that's what you get. And you don't have to, there's no network doctors. You can see any doctor in the country that takes Medicare. So that is an option. So I would kick around that. Other than that, once you turn your full retirement age, your disability benefits will be switched to retirement benefits, and your benefit amount will stay the same, and the month, the day of the month you get paid will stay the same. A lot of people don't even realize they're switched to retirement benefits. So I get comments all the, I'm 80 years old and the disability. I said, no, you kind of lost your disability 15 years ago. But it's just a bureaucratic thing where they stop taking the money out of the disability trust fund and start taking out of the retirement trust fund. So will SSI get an increase? Yeah. I mean, yeah, this year it's what, $943. Last year it was less. So yeah, and pretty much every year they get an increase. So I want to apply when I turn 62. Is that a good idea? Still work full time. Again, earnings limit. I just did a video a couple of days ago on working and retirement. So make sure you check that out. I've got a nice little graph I put together. I don't know about as nice, but it's nice for me. My graphic abilities, my art abilities. So let's see, misdemeanor. How much money can I make working part-time while getting pension and SSI? So the pension doesn't matter in terms of, so if you're getting, $5,000 from some pension or whatever, that doesn't affect Social Security at all, unless it's a non-covered pension, a pension based on, place that didn't pay into Social Security, city, state, local government. But yeah, $22,320. So as long as you stay under $22,320, you are gold in. All right. Um, all right. So we're at an hour and 10 minutes. I think we did pretty darn good today. So let's go ahead and call it a. We got. We'll do one more TikTok, please. TikTok. I need 8,000 or 10,000 subscribers. I'm halfway there. Please subscribe. Let's see. I'm on disability. When do they switch to regular Social Security? Yeah, once you hit your full retirement age. I was born 1958 and I'm early Social Security disability. When will I be fully retired? Yep, again, full retirement age. All right. So I was a teacher, got job. Okay, awesome. Yep, God love teachers. I'm a adjunct professor right now. I've got my finals coming up. I'm teaching 3 classes this semester, and I'm keeping busy in my semi-retirement. I think I'm busier now than I've been in my entire life. So I'm loving every minute. All right, because y'all are great. Awesome. All right, y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to you next time.